What is the best method to enhance your skills in Cisco technology? As you know, the Cisco is the industry leader in manufacturing the computer networking devices such as routers, switches, and wireless access point, etc. So how can you enhance your skills in Cisco technology? The answer is just do the practice again, and again. So in this video, I will explain from the CCNA level how can you get the hands-on experience in implementing base configuration in Cisco devices. Welcome to the iRush Academy. Welcome to CCNA 200-301, Implementing and Administering Cisco Solutions, Chapter number 46, Cisco Device Base Configuration, Essential Setup for the Beginners. Learn CCNA with iRush Academy. I have placed the complete CCNA playlist at the top right corner of the video information bar. In this chapter, we will gain hands-on experience in Cisco device base configuration as per the industry standard. And we will learn how to replicate the configuration from one device to another device. I hope you can see a beautiful network diagram in the screen. This is the network architecture diagram of the company called iRush Technologies. Here, if you look at carefully, you can see the head office of iRush Technologies is located at London. And they have two more branches. One is branch 1 located at Dubai, and the second one is branch 2, which is located at Paris. Now let's consider the network at London office, the head office. Here you can see a main router which is called a London router, and you can see a switch which is called London switch. And there is PC1 and PC2 as well. And if you look at the branch 1 office, you can see the main router which is called Dubai router and a network switch which is called a Dubai switch. And there is also two PCs available, which is the PC3 and PC4. Now if you go to the Paris office, you can see the main router is Paris router. And there is a switch called Paris switch. And there also two PCs are available, which is PC5 and PC6. Now here, each branch office, branch 1 and branch 2 is connected to the head office with the help of service provider network. Basically, you can say that each office is connected to internet, and with the help of a service provider, there is a network connectivity between all these branches. It can be an IPsec tunnel, or it can be an MPLS lane, or any other network switching connectivity that is offered by the service provider in that region. So here, the intention of this video is to educate you on the subject how to configure the base configuration in Cisco devices from the perspective of Cisco technologies. For that, I am going to create a virtual lab by using this network diagram that is shown in the screen. So how can I create a virtual lab? You can find that video in my CCNA playlist. I already did a couple of videos regarding that subject. How to set up a lab, how to choose a physical lab, how to choose a virtual lab, etc. So you can go to the CCNA playlist and watch those videos to get more clarity on that subject. Now in this case, I am going to create a virtual lab by using the Cisco Packet Tracer. Cisco Packet Tracer is a virtualization application that is offered by the Cisco for Cisco students to practice in Cisco technologies. So here I am going to show you how to create this lab setup in Cisco Packet Tracer. Let's go to the Cisco Packet Tracer. For that, I am going to open the Cisco Packet Tracer in my computer. So now the Cisco Packet Tracer is open in my computer. And here I am going to create virtual devices that represent the devices in this network diagram. So first of all, I am going to concentrate on the London office. Now I am going to insert the virtualized Cisco devices into my workplace in the Cisco Packet Tracer and provide the connectivity according to my network diagram. For that, I am going to add one router. This is the main router at London office. Then I am going to add a network switch. This is the main switch at the London office. Then I am going to add the PC1 and PC2 respectively. Now create the connectivity in between. For that, let me go to the connection tab and select the copper straight through cable. And from here, let me create the connectivity between this router and the network switch. Then from the switch to the PC 1, and from the switch to the PC2. Now the London office setup has been completed. Now let me go to the branch 1 Dubai office. So for Dubai office, let me add the main router. Then let me add the main switch. Then add two PC, which is PC1 and PC2. Then create the connectivity according to our diagram. So from this router to the switch, and then from the network switch to the PC, again from the network switch to the other PC. Now the network setup for branch 1 Dubai office has been completed. Now let me repeat the same for the branch 2 office Paris. For that, let me add the router here, then the main switch here, then add the PC1 and the PC2. Then let me create the connectivity from router to switch, then from switch to PC1, then second PC. Now the network setup for the branch 2 office also completed. Now how can we create the connectivity between the branch office and head office together? So in this network diagram, it was mentioned with the help of service provider. That means service provider is the one who provide the connectivity. But in Cisco Packet Tracer, for the demonstration purpose, we cannot use the service provider. So instead of that, I am going to directly connect the main router together with the help of a copper straight through cable. So from the London router to Dubai router, and again from the London router to Paris router. Now our setup has been completed. Now let me rename to these devices and provide the name according to our diagram. Now let me separate each office network for a better visibility. And when we do that changes, our Cisco Packet Tracer lab will look like exactly what you can see in the screen. Now in the Cisco Packet Tracer, you can see the head office London network, branch 1 Dubai network and branch 2 Paris network, and all these branches connected together in the Cisco Packet Tracer. Now our virtual lab in Cisco Packet Tracer is ready. Now what is the next step? The next step, we need to proceed with the base configuration in these Cisco devices. That's good. But what kind of base configuration we are going to implement in these devices? Is there a checklist you created a part of this lab? Yes, there is a checklist. So let's go to that checklist and see what are the parameters we need to configure in these Cisco devices. Now let's talk about the objective of this lab. So in this lab, what we are going to achieve or what we are going to configure in these Cisco devices. We can go here point by point. The point number 1, configure the host name. Here we are going to configure a host name for all the Cisco devices in this network architecture diagram. Point number 2, configure Logon banner as per the standard. Here we are going to follow a Logon banner as per the industry standard, and that is going to configure at all the Cisco devices. Point number 3, enable synchronous logging. We are going to enable the synchronous login at lane console of all the Cisco devices for a better Cisco iOS administration purpose. Now point number 4, turn off the IP domain lookup. Here we are going to turn off the domain lookup feature in Cisco iOS, which is available as a default, so that we can save a lot of time during the Cisco iOS administration. Now the point number 5, enable password encryption services. Here we are going to enable the password encryption services at all the Cisco devices so that all of the password in the running configuration would be encrypted and no one can understand and no one can read it easily. Now the option 6, protect privilege mode access with password, that is called IRASH. Here we are going to put a password to access the privilege mode for the security purpose at all the Cisco devices. Point number 7, configure the IP address as per the network diagram. We are going to configure the IP address for each interface of the Cisco devices as per our network diagram. Point number 8, activate the interface. We are going to activate all the interfaces that is mentioned in this network diagram. Point number 9, set a console password that is called console1234. We are going to set a console password at all the Cisco devices and protect their console access. Point number 10, set a telnet password that is called telnet1234. We are going to set a telnet password at all the Cisco device to protect the remote access. Point number 11, the final stage, save the configuration. We are going to save all the changes that we have made from the point number 1 to point number 10. So this is our objective in this video. Now let's go to each Cisco device and configure the objective accordingly. Here our network diagram is ready. Our objectives are ready. And our virtual lab in Cisco Packet Tracer also ready. Now let me go to each Cisco device and do the configuration as per our objectives. First of all, I am going to do the configuration at our head office London, and here I am going to pick the London router for the first configuration. So what is our objectives 1? It is configure the host name. So here I am going to configure a host name for the London router. And what would be the host name? The host name should be London router. So let's open the console of the London router and do the configuration accordingly. So now I am at the console of the London router and I am at the user mode. To do any kind of configuration, we have to go to the global configuration mode. So first of all, we need to go to privilege mode by using the command enable. Then press enter. Now I am at the privilege mode. Now how to go to the configuration mode? Type the command configure terminal. This is the command we are using to go to the global configuration mode. Now you can see we have successfully entered to the global configuration mode, and now from here you can do the configuration. So here what I am going to do, I am going to configure the host name for this router. The command here we are using is host name, then enter the required host name. So here what is our host name? It is London router. So let me put the host name London-router, then press enter. Now here you can see this router has changed its name from the default name router to London router. So from here, if you go new lines, you can see the host name remains same as London router. Then after complete, we can exit from our configuration mode. That's it. Now we have completed the objective number 1, configuring the host name. Now what is our second objective? It is configure Logon banner as per the standard. Now in our London router, we are going to configure a Logon banner. The Logon banner is some kind of warning message or notification to the user who is logged into the system. The intention is to provide a warning to the unauthorized person who is accessing this device. It is mainly to warn the user that the unauthorized access to this device is prohibited, and still if he try to access, then the network owner can take the legal action against him. So now we are going to configure the Logon banner in our London router. So now I am at the London router console, and here to configure the Logon banner, I need to go to the global configuration mode by using the command configure terminal, then press enter. Now the command we are using to configure the Logon banner is banner MOTT, and this MOTT stands for message of the day. Then after that, when you press question mark, you can see you need to start your login message with a delimiting character. You need to put a delimiting character at the beginning and end of the message, so the Cisco iOS can recognize it is a banner message. So here if you press enter without this delimiting character, then you will get the error message like incomplete command. So the best way to configure the Logon banner is banner MOTT, then put the delimiting character. So here I am going to put the delimiting character $, then press enter. Now it is asking enter the text message and end with the character $, because here we use at the beginning of this command this $, as a delimiting character. We need to use the same delimiting character at the end of the message. So what is the message we are going to put here? So here in the screen I have a banner message in a notepad. So I am going to use the same message here in this router. So for that, let me copy the message from my notepad. Then after that, let me paste it here in my London router console. Just go to paste option. So now the message is pasted here. After that, I need to notify the Cisco iOS. This is the end of the message. So what I need to do? I need to use the same delimiting character I was using at the beginning. So I am going to enter the $, here. Press enter. Now the Logon banner configuration is completed successfully. So here we have completed the point number 2. Now the point number 3, enable synchronous login. So let me go back to my London router here. Now I am at the privilege mode. So let me go to the configuration mode by using the command configure terminal and then press enter. Now I am at the global configuration mode. Now where we are going to configure the synchronous login, under which interface? Synchronous login is a feature of the console of the router. So we need to configure it under the line console 0. So from the configuration mode, I am going to the line console 0 interface, then press enter. Now I am inside of the line console 0. Here I can use the command login synchronous, then press enter, and that's it. Now we have successfully configured the logging synchronous at the London router. Let me exit from here, exit from the global configuration mode. Now the point number 3, enable synchronous login, also completed. Now the objective number 4, turn off the IP domain lookup. So let me go to my London router here. So basically by default, the Cisco devices has a feature that is called domain lookup. That means when the Cisco router receive a command or instruction that is not recorded anywhere in its command directory, then the router will think that it is a telnet request to a remote device. So it will try to translate that host name into an IP address. And this domain lookup and translation process will take some time. And during that period, you won't be able to enter anything in your Cisco console. So to prevent this kind of situation, we can switch off the IP domain lookup feature from the Cisco iOS, so that even if you mistype something, it's not going to perform a domain lookup process. So here, I am going to the global configuration mode by using the configure terminal command. Then, as I said, by default in Cisco router, this IP domain lookup feature is enabled. So how can we disable it? What is a command we can use to disable it? We can use here a negate command that is called no, then IP. Here I am going to press the question mark here. Here you can see that command, domain lookup. So this is what we are going to switch off now. So IP domain lookup, then press enter, and that's it. We have successfully switched off the IP domain lookup here. Now let me go to exit. Now I am at the privilege mode. So here we have completed the objective number 4, turn off the IP domain lookup. Now the objective number 5, enable password encryption service. So let me go to my London router here. So what is the password encryption service? So by default in Cisco device, if you configure any password with less security, then that password is visible in its running configuration. And anybody who got access to the running configuration, they can go to each section and understand what is a password is, because it is visible in clear text. Now to secure this password, Cisco iOS provide a feature called service password encryption. By using this feature, we can encrypt all the service password that is configured in the Cisco iOS, so that it will not be visible in clear text. It will show as an encrypted format, so people cannot read it easily. To configure this thing, first of all, I have to go to the global configuration mode by using the command configure terminal. Then what is the command we can use for service password encryption? It is simply service password encryption. Then press enter. That's it. Now we have successfully encrypted all the service password that is configured in this Cisco device. Let me exit from here. So here we have completed the objective number 5, enable password encryption service. Now let's go to the objective number 6, protect privilege mode access with password iRush. So let me go back to my London router here. As you know, what is the command that help us to go to privilege mode? It is a command called enable. When we use this command, then we are going to enter into the privilege mode. So let me show you here. Let me exit from the privilege mode. Okay, now I am at the user mode. Here you can see this symbol, which is indicating the user mode. From here, if I want to go to privilege mode, I need to use the command enable. And when I press enter, immediately I am going to get the privilege mode access. So what if we can configure a password here, so that even after someone use this command enable, he need to authorize with that password, then only he will get access to this privilege mode. It is more secure, right? So here we are going to configure a privilege mode access password which is called IRASH. So for that, first of all, we need to go to the global configuration mode using the command configure terminal, then type enable. Then here you have two options, either you can put a password or a secret. So the difference between them, when you put a password, that can see easily from the running configuration, and when you put a secret, you cannot see the exact password from the running configuration because it will save as a secret. So in these two options, the secret is more secure and commonly used option because it enhances the security of the Cisco device access. Now as per our objective, we are going to put this password here which is called IRASH to protect the privilege mode. So here I am going to use the word password, and when you press the question mark, here it is asking you can put your password which will be an unencrypted in clear text format. So here I am going to use the password as per our objective, it is IRASH. Then press enter. Now we have successfully configured the privilege mode access. Now exit from the global configuration mode. Now when you go to the privilege mode, again by using the command enable, press enter. Now see it is asking the password. So you need to provide the proper password here. Then only this router will give you access to the privilege mode. So here I am going to use my password IRASH, press enter. Now I am successfully entered to the privilege mode. So here we have completed the point number 6, protect the privilege mode access with password IRASH. Now let's go to the objective number 7, configure the IP address as per the network diagram. So in this London router, we are going to configure all this IP address which is mentioned at all of its interface. And not only that, we are going to consider the objective number 8 also here, activate the interfaces. By default in router, all the interfaces would be in disable mode. That means even if you configure the IP address, it is not going to come online unless you go and activate that interfaces manually. So here we are going to do the configuration of objective 7 and 8 together. For that, let me go to the London router, then let me go to the global configuration mode by using the command configure terminal. Now I am at the global configuration mode. Now we are going to each interface of this London router and configure the IP address, subnet mask and enable the interface. For that, first let me go to the gigabit Ethernet 0/0. So to go to interface, I can use the command interface, then gigabit Ethernet, then 0/0, then press enter. Now I am at the interface of gigabit Ethernet 0/0. Now what is the IP address that we want to configure at gigabit Ethernet 0/0? It is this one, 192.168.1.1. So let me configure that IP address in this interface. So to configure the IP address, I can use the command IP address. Then I need to put the IP address here. So what is the IP address? 192.168.1.1. Then press the question mark. Now I need to specify the subnet mask of this IP address. So our subnet mask is a class C subnet mask. So it is 255.255.255.0. Then go to question mark again. Now the command is completed. You can press enter. Now we have successfully configured the IP address in this interface. Now the objective 8, we need to enable the interface also. So as you know, by default all the router interface is in the shutdown mode. So how we can enable the interface? We can use the negate command called no shutdown, then press enter. And by using this command, we can successfully activate the interface. So as soon as I use this command, I got a message which is saying that link 5 changed, interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0 change the state to up. So it was down before. Now when we use this command, it is activated and the status changed to up. And here you can see the line protocol also changed. So this is the physical layer and the second one is a data link layer. So its status also changed to up. Now let me exit from here. So we have successfully configured the gigabit Ethernet 0/0. Now let me go to the second interface, which is gigabit Ethernet 0/1. Then press enter. And what is the IP address we want to configure at gigabit Ethernet 0/1? It is 10.10.1.1. So let me do the configuration here. IP address 10.10.1.1. Then the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Then press enter. Then activate the interface using the command no shutdown. So that is also done. Let me exit from here. Now let me go to the interface. Gigabit Ethernet 0/2. Enter. And what is the IP address we are going to configure here? So if you check the diagram, you can see the IP address I am going to configure here is 10.10.2.1. So let me go to the London router back, then configure the IP address 10.10.2.1. Then the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Enter. Then activate the interface using the command no shutdown. Enter. Now its status changed to up. Now exit from here. Exit from here also. Now we have successfully configured the IP address at the 3 interfaces of the London router. Now how do we verify that? How do we know the IP address got changed and all the interfaces are activated? For that we can use the command show IP interface brief. So this command is going to give you a brief about the IP address at all the interfaces. When you press enter, here you can see the gigabit Ethernet 0/0. It got the IP address, this one, and its status is up, protocol is up. And in gigabit Ethernet 0/1, it got an IP address, physical status is up, but the lane protocol is down. It is because we didn't activate the interface at the other end of the router. Once it is configured, then this status also will come up. Now the gigabit Ethernet 0/2, it got an IP address 10.10.2.1. Status is up and lane protocol is down at this moment, but later on it will be up. So in this way we can verify all the interface got the proper IP address and its status also got changed. So here we have completed the objective number 7 and the objective number 8. Now let's go to the objective number 9. Set a console password console1234. So let me go to the London router here, and here we are going to set a console password where we are going to configure this password. Since it is a console password, we are going to configure it under the console interface. And what is a console interface? It is line console 0. So let me go to the global configuration mode by using the command configure terminal. Then after that, let me go to the line console 0. Then here I am going to set the password. And what is the password? It is console1234. So let me go here and type the password. Okay. What is a password? Console1234. Console1234. Then press enter. Now we have set the password. But what is the use of this password? The use of this password, if anyone trying to get access to the console of this router, they should enter that password and confirm their identity. So if they want to enter the password, we must put a mandatory option that login is required. So how to configure that thing? So here under the line console 0, we can put a condition login, then enter. So it is saying under line console 0, if anyone trying to access, they should login. Login is required. And to login, what password they will use? They have to use the password which we had set up here, which is console1234. Now let me exit from here, exit from the global configuration mode, and that's it. Now we have completed the objective number 9. Set a console password which is console1234. Now let's go to the objective number 10. Set a telnet password which is called telnet1234. So let me go to my London router again. Now we are going to configure a telnet password. So what is a telnet? Telnet is a remote control protocol that allow you to access a device remotely from a different location. So how the user get access to this device? By using the protocol telnet. But when they access the device using the telnet, they should put a password and confirm their identity. They have to confirm their authorization by using that password. So where we are going to configure this password? This password is going to configure under the line VTY interface. So let me go to the global configuration mode first. Then let me go to the line VTY. Then after that, we need to decide what are the ports they need to get access. So here I am going to choose 5 ports from 0 to 4. Enter. Here I am going to put the password. That is a telnet password. What is our telnet password? Telnet1234. then press enter. Now as you see, we had set up a password, but again we have to put a mandatory condition here that user must enter the password to get access to the device using telnet. So for that we need to add a condition to login. So when we add this condition login, that means login is required to get access to that device using telnet. And to log into that device, what password they must use? They have to use this password which we had set up here now, telnet1234. And now we have successfully completed the objective number 10. Now what else is pending? The pending one is the objective number 11. Save the configuration. Now as you know, we have made so many configuration in this router. And now what will happen when the router is switched off or its power is lost? That means whatever the configuration we made all this time, it will lose forever because we didn't save the configuration. So now here we have to save the configuration. So how to save the configuration? There are two methods to save the configuration. First one is copy the running configuration into startup configuration. So I can use the command here, copy, then running configuration to startup configuration. So this command will exactly do copy all the current configuration that is running and they will store in the startup configuration. So even if the router switch off or there is a power failure, when the router reboot next time, it will take all the configuration from its startup configuration. So here I am going to use the command copy running configure into the startup configuration, then press enter. And it is asking the startup configuration file is already present at this router. Do you want to rename it? Do you want to replace it? So here we have to choose yes, just press enter. So here you can see the building configuration, that means it is saving to the startup config file, then okay. Now we have successfully copied all the running configuration into startup configuration. The second method is you can just use a command called write. This also doing the same functionality of the copy running configuration to startup configuration. It will copy all current running configuration into startup configuration. Both method we can use, both are same. So I am going to show you here the second option. Just enter the command write, then press enter, and that's it. And now we have completed the objective number 11. Save the configuration. Now as you know, we have complete all the objective at head office router which is called London router. Now we need to do the same objective at the branch 1 and branch 2 router. So how to do that thing? There is two methods to do that thing. One is a time consuming process and second one is easy process. Which one you would like to do? The time consuming process, it is the same process that you did from the objective 1 to objective 11. You can do that configuration one by one at the Dubai router console. The second option is easy way is take the configuration copy from the London router, then make the necessary changes in that configuration file, then implement all together at the branch 1 and branch 2 router. So in that way we can complete the configuration in very less time. So let me show you the second option, the easy method. So first of all, let me go to the London router here. Now I am at the London router. Let me press enter. Now it is asking the user access verification. And which user access verification it is asking? It is asking the console password that we have configured earlier. So we need to supply the console password here to get access to the console. So what was our console password we had set earlier? It was console1234. And when I press enter, I got the user mode. And from here I want to go to privilege mode. So let me go to the command enable, then press enter. Now it is asking another password. And what password it is asking? It is asking the privilege mode password that we had set earlier. And what was that? It was iRush. So let me put here iRush. Press enter. Now I am successfully at the privilege mode. Okay. Now from here, what we are going to do is we are going to take a backup of the running configuration of this London router and do the necessary changes in that configuration file and push that configuration file into the other two branches accordingly. So first of all, let me go to the configuration file by using the command show running configuration. So by using the command show running configuration, it will show all the configuration that is running in this current router, that is running in this London router. So let me press enter. So it is displaying all the configuration. So from where it is going to start? It is starting from here till end. So this is the current running configuration in this London router. So let me copy this thing. Then after that, let me open the notepad here, then paste it here. Let me maximize the notepad. So you can see this is the current configuration that is running in the London router, and in this configuration file we are going to make the necessary changes in according to the branch 1 Dubai router and branch 2 Paris router here. So here what are the things we need to consider? We can remove the unwanted things from here. This is not required. We need this command because it is the service password encryption. Then host name also we need to change. So in this host name it is showing London router, and in our branch 1 it should be Dubai router. So let me put here Dubai router. Then the enable password is correct. We are using the same enable password. Then we can change all of these things. This is not required. Then no IP domain lookup is required because we are going to switch off the IP domain lookup feature. Then we can remove all of this. Then interface gigabit ethernet 0/0. So at London router is 192.168.1.1. So we need to change the IP address in according to the branch 1 router. So what is a branch 1 router? At branch 1 gigabit 0/0 interface should be 10.10.1.2 and 0/1 should be 192.168.2.1. So let me put here 10.10.1.2 10.10.1.2. okay, that's right. Then at branch 1 gigabit ethernet 0/1 it is 192.168.2.1. so let me put here 192.168.2.1. okay, and subnet mask remains same, all other configuration remains same. And in addition we have to type a command here, no shutdown, because we need to activate the interface, otherwise that router interface will remain in shutdown mode. So same thing we need to do here also, no shutdown. okay, so these two interface done. And for Dubai router there is no interface 0/2 configured, so that thing we can remove. And VLAN also we can remove. Then go to here, we can remove all this. Now banner MOTD, yes, that is our Logon banner. We need the same Logon banner, so I will keep this. Then under lane console 0 I had set a password. Then login synchronous configured, login is required, that we required. Then lane auxiliary 0, it's not required, we can remove it. Then lane VTY 0, yes, that is the telnet interface, and here we set a password and login is required, yes, that is required. Then end. So that's it. So this is the configuration file that we made changes according to branch 1 router, Dubai router. Now we are going to copy this configuration file and paste it in the console of the Dubai router, so it will get all the configuration as it is. So let me go to the Dubai router here and let's go to its console. Press enter key to get started. Now it is in the user mode, so let me go to the command enable to go to the privilege mode. Now the question is, in which mode we are going to paste all of this configuration? In which mode we are allowed to do the configuration? It is in the configuration mode. So we need to paste all the configuration under the configuration mode only. If you paste it in privilege mode or user mode, it is not going to work. So let me go to the configuration mode here by using the command configure terminal. Now what we need to do, whatever we copied here, just paste it in the console of the branch 1 router. So just let me paste here. Okay, now I have successfully did a copy paste, enter. Now see, before the branch 1 router was using the default name router. Now when we paste the configuration, its name changed to Dubai router. Now if you go to the show running configuration in this Dubai router, you can see it got the Dubai router host name, enable password is set up, then no IP domain lookup you can see here. Then two interfaces we have configured this IP address, and then lane console we configured the login synchronous and we set a password and login is required. Banner, this is the banner we have configured, and under line VTY also you can see the password and login is required. So as you can see, all the configuration we have successfully transferred from London router to Dubai router with the proper modification. Now what is the final step pending in Dubai router? Save the configuration. You need to save the configuration to keep the configuration at the startup. So let me use the command write enter, and I have successfully completed saving the configuration. Now I need to do the same implementation at branch 2 router, which is the Paris router. So again I can use the same configuration file and make the changes in accordingly. So service password encryption is required, hostname I need to put Paris instead of Dubai. Enable password is same, no IP domain lookup is same. Now the interface part, interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0 and 0/1. The IP address we need to change. So at branch 2, we need to use the IP address 10.10.2.2 at gigabit Ethernet 0/0 and 192.168.3.1 at gigabit Ethernet 0/1. So let me make the changes in accordingly here. 2.2 at gigabit Ethernet 0/0 and 3.1 at gigabit Ethernet 0/1. Then banner MOTD same, lane console configuration is same, lane VTA configuration also same. Now the configuration is ready for the Paris router. So let me copy this here. Now let me go to the branch 2 router which is in Paris. Press enter key to get started. Now I am at the user mode. Go to the enable command to go to the privilege mode. And from here let me go to the configuration mode by using the configure terminal command. Now what I am going to do, I am going to copy this all configuration and going to paste in this console of this router. Paste. Now here you can see before this router hostname was just router by default. Now after we implement the changes, it changed to the Paris router. Now let me verify the running configuration by using the command show running configuration. Here you can see the service password encryption is done, hostname is done, and enable password is activated. Then no IP domain lookup configured. Then two interfaces we configure the IP address, and then lane console 0 we have configured the password and login condition along with the login synchronous option. Then lane VTY we put a password for the telnet access and login is required, and that's it. Now what is the final step remaining in this router? It is to save the configuration. So let me use the command write to save the configuration. That's it. So here we have successfully configured the London router which is located at the head office London, Dubai router which is located at the branch 1 Dubai, Paris router which is located at the branch 2 Paris successfully. Now we have completed all of our objectives at the London router, Dubai router and Paris router. Now what about the switches which is located at the head office London, then another switch located at Dubai, then another switch which is located at Paris. What about the configuration in these switches? It is the same configuration that we did it in the Cisco routers. You can follow the same in Cisco switch as well. The only difference is in routers we are configuring the interfaces and IP address, but in switch there is no need to configure any interface because switch we are using as a layer 2 device here. So I will leave that configuration to you because now you have learned how to configure the Cisco device and how to replicate the configuration from one device to another device. So please do that exercise yourself. So in this chapter, we have gained hands-on experience in Cisco device-based configuration as per the industry standard, and we have learned how to replicate the configuration from one device to another device. Thank you very much for watching and subscribe to the channel for more videos.